everyone, welcome back to the Heart Talks Unfiltered, the space where we tackle meaningful conversations that truly matter. Today's episode is titled True Love Waits, an awareness on teenage pregnancy. This topic focuses on making informed choices, valuing self-respect, and understanding that love and responsibility go hand in hand. So grab a seat and let's dive in. Let's start by asking ourselves, what does true love wait really is all about? Now I know what you're thinking. That's so cheesy, but hear me out. It's not about being old-fashioned or waiting for some fairy tale prince. It's the kind of choice that will guard our future with time given to grow into such individuals. And waiting does not mean giving up on love. It only means choosing to set a good foundation first. On the other hand, teenage pregnancy is quite a personal issue that affects families, educations, and future opportunities. Teenage pregnancy is a real thing and is happening more often than you might think. It's not a fairy tale. It's a serious situation that can change your life forever. And you already have the power to make choices. So choose life, choose a future. Remember that you are the product of your choices. Now, to get different perspectives, I will ask other people questions about love, relationships, and teenage pregnancy. Let's hear what they have to say. So I will interview some people here with me. Hello everyone, so today I'm going to interview someone about our topic for today. So I have here, what's your name, your age, and your course?
Hello, my name is Donates A. Jimenez and I am 18 years old. I am from BA Financial Management.
What's your name and your age and from what school or university?
Okay, so I am AD Shanfekia Pereza. I am 19 years old and I am from Mapua University, Manila.
What's your name, your nickname, your age, and your course?
I'm Shad Dingaling, 17-year-old marketing student here in Liceo de Cagayan.
What does true love mean to you, and what is the importance of responsibility in relationships?
Personally, true love has indefinite words to describe. It has a deep connection that involves understanding, mutual respect, patience, support, and endurance through tough times with your loved ones. And when talking about responsibility, it revolves around being there for your partner or loved ones even when life is tough and consistently putting forth effort while being honest, trustworthy, and communicative.
Well, thank you for that. That's a very nice answer. So I have my second question here. Why do you think some teenagers rush into relationships without considering the consequences?
I think the real reason was because they want to experience the love often seen in social media. They want to feel what it's like to have a partner with whom they can share sweet moments, intimacy, and even build a connection. So, however, they might not consider that the depth of the relationship, which should involve several responsibilities. And as a result, they may overlook the consequences because they are driven by their emotions. And also for others, especially some of the people that I've known, they rush into relationships because they are clout chasing. So they feel the need to show everyone that they have someone special, and in most cases, the couple will eventually go separate ways.
That's exactly right. That's the generation nowadays.
Yeah.
So here's my last question for you. What do you think are the impacts of teenage pregnancy? Because we're talking about rush relationships, which can often result to teenage pregnancy.
So teenage pregnancy nowadays is very prevalent issue and the impacts are outnumbered. So first is emotional impact. The couple, especially the mother or the girl, will feel the stress, anxiety, and depression due to her current situation and her future, and due to its huge transition from being teenager and to building a family, it might lead to a big adjustment and uncertainty. And second is financial strain. due to their age, they may find difficulty to finding a job that can sustain their family needs. And also, this will affect their child, and not only in the emotional support but also the physical health. And so, in this issue, it is important to raise awareness and provide a sex education to mitigate the teenage pregnancies. And additionally, the couple should be more careful when engaging in intercourse.
Wow, that's a very informative answer. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
Why do you think some teenagers rush into relationships without considering the consequences?
I think they rush into relationships because they base their decisions on their emotions. They don't think rationally when it comes to relationships. They just think that, oh, I'm feeling this way, so I should always follow, without thinking that, oh, maybe I'm just infatuated, maybe it's a very temporary thing that I'm feeling. Something like that.
That's actually right now, since that's the most cases in this generation, and we can't deny that fact. So here's my second question. What advice would you give to those teenagers about balancing emotions and future goals?
I think on those cases it varies. It actually varies on each person. So maybe generally speaking, we should just think rationally. That let us not base our decisions on our emotions. So we should always think with our mind, not with our heart.
Yeah, that's also correct. We should not let our emotions overcome our minds or overcome us. So here's my last question for you. So in your opinion, how can schools and communities help prevent teenage pregnancy, since we're talking about some teenagers rush into relationships which often results in teenage pregnancy. So how can schools and communities help prevent teenage pregnancy in your opinion?
In my opinion, in our society where talking about sexual things is very taboo, I think we should be more open to things like that. It is because the reason there are a lot of teenagers get pregnant very early, it is because of their very raging curiosity, and it is because, and also they are restricted to those things being talked about, so they are very curious, so they go on to try those things. They go on do things that they aren't supposed to do just because they're very curious. So I think communities and schools should do is talk about it more, sex education, and maybe have some peers talk about each other. So older people, the teachers, or some experienced people guide the students about those things.
So I have a question here about our topic for today. So what does true love mean to you, and what is the importance of responsibility in relationships?
For me, true love, based from the perspectives of others, they define true love as some based from their genders and their sexuality. But for me, true love is towards someone whom you feel comfortable, whom you feel na you can express yourselves to them, where you can show them who you really are, and they can support you on whatever you do in life.
So what is the importance of responsibility in relationships?
In relationship, when it regards to responsibilities, there are different aspects when it comes to relationships. But the main point for relationships to always put in mind is for an open communication between the partners in the relationship. When we have open communication with them, we can express what we truly feel without the hindrance with the problems that we've had with each other and such.
So here's my second question. What do you think are the impacts of teenage pregnancy, since we're talking about relationships here, which often results in teenage pregnancy, especially in today's generation?
So teenage pregnancy is, at some point, there are a lot of people who thought of these as a mistake this is already general na objectives. General perspective, I mean. So, the impact of teenage pregnancy, most of them is negative, given that it can affect your academics, especially when you're still a student, financially, in your family, and even in the relationship. Kasi nga, another thing that they always thought of it as a problem, that's why my teenage pregnancy, kasi wala siyang communication. Walang proper na, ano ba tawag niyan? Like, a consent with the pair to do that thing. I think we are open here to do sexual activities. So it results to teenage pregnancy. Then it has different impacts to one's life. It can either degrade. It depends lang din on how you accept it and how you make the impact lessen, or you can make it worse. Okay? So ayun, but most of the people know na it will have negative impacts in your life.
So, in your opinion, how can schools and communities help prevent teenage pregnancy?
One thing to help prevent this is through awareness. There are a lot of initiatives in our community, diba? Like youth organizations. Here in Cagayan de Oro, I think OIDO, they have their own the Oro Youth Development Office. They have their own activities when it tries to assess teenage pregnancy. Our SK, they also have their activities. So that's the main solution to help mitigate this problem. And another thing is to encourage our fellow youth to know this better, and then to practice safe sex, given that it is really common these days na, diba? Senior high school, they already have experience. Junior high, so it's okay na to have experience. That is a common misunderstanding. It's okay to have experience, basta you know na safe yung ginagawa niyo. So ganun. That's why we really need awareness to the community.
So, thank you for that, Mr. A.G. Sean. So, from Mapua University's Layabo. And that's all. Thank you for speaking with me in this important conversation. This has been Hard Talks Unfiltered, reminding you to love wisely and live with purpose. See you in our next episode.